Welcome to all. In this video we will see DNA sequencing method. The DNA sequencing is the term refers the determination of the orderly arrangement of nucleotides in a DNA fragment. The DNA sequence of all the chromosomes of an organism is called genome sequencing. Similarly, the sequence of chloroplast or mitochondria are called as chloroplast genome sequence or mitochondrial gene. Early attempts. In 1869, the DNA is discovered by Mischer, and in 1953, the double helix DNA model was proposed by Watson and Crick, and in the year 1955, Frederick Sanger first sequenced the amino acids. So the sequence of amino acids much earlier than DNA by biochemical method, and it was achieved by Frederick Sanger in 1955. He sequenced the amino acids of two peptides of insulin A and insulin B in the bovine. And in 1970, the scientist Ray Wu proposed a method for determining the DNA sequences involved a location for specific primer extension strategy. In 1972, Walter Fires first sequenced RNA in the bacteriophages MS2, and in 1973, Gilbert and Maxam reported the sequence of 24 base pairs using a method known as wandering spot analysis. And first DNA sequencing was achieved by Sanger in the year 1977. He sequenced bacteriophage 5X174 containing 5003, first generation sequencing method. So here two popular methods which are equally valuable sequencing methods. They are, first one is called chain termination method, that is developed by the scientists Sanger and Colson in the year 1977 in UK. And this method is still in use to sequencing for small fragments, and it is also called the cycle sequencing. The Sanger sequencing by capillary electrophoresis is regarded as the gold standard for DNA sequencing even now. And the second method is chemical degradation method, that also discovered in the same year in the Harvard University. The key materials required for the Sanger sequencing methods are, first we need a template DNA for which we have to obtain the sequences. So mostly single strand DNA is preferable, and single strand DNA is cloned into M13 vector and we will get the single stranded DNA. Alternatively, the double stranded DNA is chemically denatured and we can separate the single strands. And next thing we need is a suitable primer. The primer is a small piece of DNA that can pair with a template DNA by complementary base pairing and act as a starting point for the replication. Another thing requirement is DNA polymerase. Here we use a special kind of DNA polymerase called Clino fragment DNA polymerase 1. The main advantage is it lacks 5' to 3' exonuclease activity, so that there is no proofreading and other functions will be carried out. And the combination of normal nucleotides ATP, CTP, TTP, GTP are mixed with equal proportion pool, and a small proportion of specialized nucleotide called di-deoxynucleotides, in which the 3' OH, so in normal nucleotides, in the 3rd prime of the carbon have OH group, the oxygen is removed and it is called di-deoxynucleotides. So this is small proportion, and we have different kinds of reaction setup. Each reaction setup only incurs a specific type of di-deoxynucleotide sequences. So now we will see the principle of Sanger method. The template DNA pieces are replicated by incorporating in the normal nucleotides, but it is occasionally at the random site di-deoxynucleotides are taken up. Okay, so during normal DNA replication process, it is divided into single strand, and the primase will produce the primers and it will perform the chain elongation. Here we have the template DNA is a single strand, and we have the primers and we have the polymerase. So similar to replication, the strand synthesis, elongation or replication takes place by incorporating the nucleotides which are provided in the reaction tube. Okay, and before we told small proportion of di-deoxynucleotides are added. These dideoxynucleotides don't have 3' OH group, so they cannot involve in chain elongation. So the chain elongation process will stop if randomly DNTP is taken instead of DNTPs. So the DNTP stops the replication on that piece of DNA, and the reason is already we explained. The DNTP possesses a 3' hydrogen instead of OH group. So they also compete in the reaction with the normal DNTPs. If DNTP is recruited by the polymerase instead of DNTP, the chain arrest will be takes place. So the resultant product is a mix of different DNA lengths. Since DNTP is added at very low proportion, the probability of DNTP is minimum. Altogether over the reaction, at least one DNTP is binds to one corresponding or complementary DNTPs throughout the chain. Okay, so we will get a mixture of DNA lengths, each ending with a particular labeled DNTP. Since the different lengths travel at different rates during electrophoresis, their order can be easily determined. The lower length base pair will be move faster, whereas large size of DNA molecules will move slower. So we can easily identify and we can determine the base pairs. Likewise, we have to set up 4 reactions. In reaction 1, we add small portion of DDATP, and reaction 2 we will add small proportion of DDTTP. Reaction 3 we will add small proportion of DDCTP, and reaction 4 we will add DDGTP. So in each reaction we will get different length of fragments that have the ends of A, T, C or G, and after running in the polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis we can easily determine their positions. So now we will see the workflow. So first thing is DNA template is denatured to single strands. Either it may be achieved by chemicals or we can clone into M13 and we can get the single strand. The DNA primer is annealed at specific temperature so that it can bind to the template DNA. And the extension of complementary strand is produced by the DNA polymerase enzyme. And here we set 4 kind of reactions. Okay, so each set contains DNA template, primers, and DNA polymerases and normal DNTPs containing DATP, DTTP, DCTP, and DGTP. In addition, we add a different ratio of labeled DDNTP. For example, DDATP in tube 1, DDTTP in tube 2, DDCTP in tube 3, and DDGTP in tube 4 added. In generally, the ratio of DDNTP is added up to 1/100 proportion of the DNTP's concentration we added in the reactions. So whenever the radio labeled DDNTPs are recruited by the polymerase, the DNA synthesis immediately terminated, so we will get different lengths of DNA fragments. So this is the template strand, and polymerase binds and start the chain elongation. Whenever DDNTP is recruited, the chain elongation is started, so we will get different fragment length size of DNA molecules. So each of the 4 reaction mixers produce the population of DNA molecules with DNA chains terminating at all possible position of the respective nucleotides. So the extension products of each of the 4 reaction mixers also end with a different ratio of radio labeled DDNTPs. Next thing is, each reaction mix is electrophoresed in the polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis, and each reaction mix is loaded in a separate lens. So we have to run 4 lens, and each lens carrying different lengths of DNA bands. The pattern of bands in each of the 4 lens is visualized by autoradiography and captured by X-ray film. The location of the bands in each of the 4 lens indicate the size of the fragments terminating with their respective radio labeled DDNTPs. So now we will see the brief illustration. So this is just assume this is the fragment of DNA we have to sequence. First thing is we add the primer and we make it single strand. The primer is extended by the polymerase. Whenever polymerase requires DD and TPs, it will stop the further chain elongation. So in case 1, it is stopped in the middle approximately 15 base pair, and in second case it may be approximately 18 base pair. Third one is approximately 25 base pair, and third one is 33 base pair. So if you do the reaction for only DD ATP, we will get 4 kinds of fragments. Next thing is we have to run this reaction in the polyacrylamide jelly electrophoresis. We can see 4 bands. Band 1 is approximately 13 base pair, and second one is approximately 18 base pair, and 26 base pair, and 33 base pair. 15th base pair, 18th base pair, 26, 31 and 37 base pair are present with adenine in the template DNA sequence. So likewise for 4 reactions, the reaction tube second with to detect the position of T, and line 3 will show the position of C, and line 4 will show the position of G. So if we run all the 4 reactions in the gel, and we can see the respective position of the nucleotides. So in this reaction, for example, the first one is C, and the second one is yellow G, and third one is again C, and fourth likewise we can from the top to bottom we can write the sequences, and we will get the complete sequence of the DNA. So this way DNA sequence is identified by the Sanger sequencing method. Thank you.